saying that you're going live. Don't worry about that. And I'm going to start the recording. Here we go. Okay, so this is OET Reading. We're going to start with Part A. This is Tuesday, of course. So today we'll look at Step 1 of OET Reading Part A. We'll talk about technique, but we'll also do a bit of practice for finding main ideas. Tomorrow we'll do Step 2 and we'll do a mock test. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to do is just make sure you guys can see the correct document. Can everyone see this? Does everyone see this?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic. So, Mohammed, what does this word say?
Technique overview.
Okay, good. Okay, so we'll start with a technique overview. That's the first thing we'll do, just to make sure everyone understands the best possible way to do this part of the exam. Then I'm going to talk about main ideas and how to find the main idea. I'll also talk about timing as well, actually. Then at the end of this class, we'll talk about keywords. And again, we'll talk about timing and keywords. Tomorrow, there will be a full mock test. So this is what we're trying to do today. So let's get started. Can I start with Bogdan? If you could say hello, Bogdan, or Rosa. Could you guys put your microphones on? If
Hello?
you don't mind. Is that Rosa?
Yes.
Hey, Rosa. So, Rosa, how much time do we have for reading Part A in the exam?
50 minutes for Part A and Part B and C 45, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, you're correct. So 50 minutes for Part A. How many questions are there?
20.
Is that right, guys? Is it 20 or more?
24.
Yes.
It's 20, 24 in listening. It's only 20 questions in reading. Okay, listening A, I think, is 24. How many texts are there? Everyone, how many texts?
Four.
Four texts. Okay. And there will always be 4 texts. I've never seen an exam without 4 texts. Okay, so let's represent these 4 texts here. Okay, so text 1, 1 second. Oops. Text 1 like this. Text 2, here we go. And then we can have text 3, text 4. And usually we have, what do they call each text? What's the name of each text?
A, B, C, D.
They usually just name them A, B, C. And that's important, isn't it? Because you have to write down A, B, C, D at the start, okay? So A, B, C, D. And there's 20 questions. Okay, so I want to give you an overview, guys, of the basic OET reading technique. Okay, so let's have an example question. Here's an example question. So, for example, what should you prescribe? I don't know, a child with this condition. Okay, so we've got a question. Remember, there's 20 of these in the exam, right? Now, I always say that there should be 2 steps. There are 2 steps to the exam technique. Rosa, do you know what step 1 is? Every student has to really do this in 2 steps. Does anyone here know what step 1 should be?
Analysis, yeah.
Analyze the text.
The texts, okay. And what is step 2 then, Vandana? If you could say hello, or Weiss, what are we doing?
Answer the questions.
Step 2 is answer the questions. Okay, answer. So it's very, very simple, but this is important because, well, why is it important? Can anyone tell me why is it important to have 2 steps? Anyone?
You save time.
To differentiate each other.
Well, and let's go with Andrea. Thank you, Vandana. So Andrea is saying to save time. Yes, yeah. Right? Because this first step, if we do this well, it will mean that step 2 can be faster. Why? Andrea, why is it?
You know what are you looking for, and you know where are you, in which text
you know
need to find.
Text, right? Good analysis means that you do not have to read 4
texts.
How many do you normally read to find the answer? Everyone?
Maybe 2.
1 or 2. 1 or 2. Okay. You should not be reading 4 texts for each question. If you read 4 texts, for each question, what's going to happen, guys?
The timer will
Lose the
You're not going to finish. And
We run out of
the
time.
first time I did this exam, I failed. And I failed for exactly that reason, that I was not analyzing the texts. Okay. Now, in terms of analyzing the text, how much time should we spend doing this? Because we've got 15 minutes in total. Rosa, how much time do you normally spend reading the texts, analyzing them? Or Najibullah, how much time? Mariam as well.
2 minutes.
I'm going to say maximum 2 minutes, right? Sometimes you can do this in less, maximum 2 minutes. Okay. So how much time, therefore, do we have, guys, to answer the questions?
13.
45 seconds.
13 minutes. Okay. So this exam is so difficult because of timings. If you're not very, very careful, you're going to run out of time. All right. So in those 2 minutes, I've got to be very, very efficient and very, very systematic with what I do. Bogdan, could you say hello?
Hello.
Anoop as well. Okay, so step one, Bogdan. What do I do for these 4 texts? What am I trying to do when I analyze? What does that mean?
We look after the keywords, numbers.
Okay, so we can underline keywords. All right. So, for example, here I'm underlining keywords. How many should I underline, guys? Underlining keywords.
3 or
3,
4 or 5 for each text. No more than 4 or 5. Right. So I'm simply going to, one way to analyze is to, let's call this the second way, to focus on keywords and to underline keywords. All right. But Bogdan, what else should I do? There's something more important than that.
Main idea.
Main idea. Okay. So Bogdan, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What is the main idea of text A? Look, diagnosis of cancer. What's the main idea?
diagnosis.
What is in the text? The diagnosis.
What is this? What is this here?
Title.
Title.
What do we call this? We call this the title or the subtitle. Okay.
Yes. Title. Subtitle.
Now, how much time, Andrea, if I have a subtitle already,
1 second.
1 second, right? So guys, to get the main idea, if there is a subtitle, it's very fast.
Yeah.
Okay. And you should be looking to write that down. Probably, I would just write down diagnosis here, Bogdan, right? So you write down, that's your main idea, diagnosis.
Diagnosis, yeah.
You guys, we're looking for things like diagnosis, treatment, symptoms,
Medication.
things like that are your main ideas. Okay. What do I do though if there is no heading?
First line.
First sentences.
It's more difficult, isn't it? It's more difficult. Yeah, there's things we can do, but if there's no heading, think about timings here, Vandana. If there's no subtitle, how much time should I spend on that text?
45 seconds.
Maybe 45 seconds, yeah, maximum, yeah. And if there is a subtitle, how much time should I spend analyzing that text? 5 seconds?
Usually 30 seconds each, but it also depends on the text.
Yeah, I'm changing this now, Vanda. I don't think that's a good idea now. I think it's better. Look, guys, maximum 10 seconds. If you have the subtitle, you have the main idea. If you have the main idea, that is, honestly, you can do the test. It's the most important thing, okay? But if you don't have the subtitle, you need to spend more time, all right? And we're going to talk more about this today, okay? But the important thing for you guys to think about here is timing, okay? Is this clear, guys? Maximum 2 minutes, but only 10 seconds on a text if you have a title, 45 seconds if there's no title. Is that clear for everyone here?
Excuse me, Adnan.
Adnan, go on.
2 minutes we have to spend to read the 4 text A, B, C, D.
Maximum. You could do maybe 90 seconds if you're fast.
Wow. Okay, that's clear.
Now, don't worry, Adnan. This is what Andrea was saying, right? If you don't do this, this will take you more time, right? This is actually saving you time. Is that clear for everyone? Because you can find the answer much quicker. Okay. Very, very important we understand this. Okay, so main idea, diagnosis. Main ideas. I'm trying to find my main ideas here. Okay. So let's say, for example, can anyone give me an example of a main idea in OET? What kind of things do we normally see? Yeah, okay, let's say C is treatment. Okay, good example. What else is main idea?
Management.
Maybe management. Thank you. Anyone else? Not
Sign symptoms.
symptoms. Yeah. Okay. So let's say, for example, okay, I spend 90 seconds, 120 seconds. I've got my 4 main ideas. This one is treatment. This one is management. This is, for example, okay. This one is symptoms. All right. This one is diagnosis. Okay. Actually, let's make this one medication. Let's go to step 2 now. Step 2. What should you prescribe a child with this condition? Which text am I going to search in?
D.
CRD, treatment and medication.
This is what will happen in your exam, right? Once you have the main ideas, you can match the main idea to the question. At least 2 texts. Okay. All right. So now, Najibullah, I know. Okay, probably C or D. I'm going to read both. Okay. What do I do next? What's the next step? Najibullah?
Keywords.
Andrea saying keywords. Now, Andrea, what do I mean by keywords? Give me an example of a keyword.
Child. Prescribe.
Okay. So I'm going to find a keyword. This is, guys, what we call a keyword. Adnan, could you say hello? Or Hajarat?
Hello.
What makes a good keyword? What makes a good keyword?
A keyword tries to direct you to where you find your answer or where you find the question.
I guess so. That's a good answer. But for example, what I'm saying is, why is not a good keyword? Why is an a bad? Well, why is this a bad
It's
keyword?
repeated.
It is not unique. It should be unique. Yeah.
So Farah, what makes a good keyword? Answer unique, right? What does unique mean, everyone?
Not repeated.
Not repeated. Okay.
Okay.
So you're looking to find words that are very unique, very specific. Okay. Then you're using your analysis to get the 2 most possible texts. Then let's say, for example, I scan and I find here child. I find it. Here we go, child. Amajan, what do I do next? Bogdan. When I find my keyword in the text, what do I need to do next? Anyone? What should I do?
Category. We go for category.
For example, with this condition.
Well, this will tell me, this is what I call this will tell me the answer
Of
area. What does area mean, everyone? Area. What does that mean?
Category.
Area.
The region of the
region of the place, right? My answer is not going to be here, right? Because I found my keyword, child, here. Okay. So I know that I'm only going to really look in this part. Okay. This is my keyword. It tells me where the answer is, but it does not tell me what the answer is. Okay. If you want to know what the answer is, you need to think about the category. Okay. You should prescribe a child with this condition. What's the category, guys? Everyone.
medication.
Medication.
So when I find child here, I'm looking for an example of
Medicine.
of a medication. Does that make sense? If you think about the category of information that you want, very, very useful. And I'll talk more about that tomorrow. Okay, because I'll give you another reason why this is very good category. Does anyone here ever forget the question?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You find
Sometimes,
you find the
All
place.
of us.
Forgot the question. Well, you don't need to remember it, do you? With the category, you do not need to remember the question. You just need to remember one word, medication. Okay, and then you find an example of that. I'll talk more tomorrow about step 2. I'll talk about that in much more detail tomorrow. Okay, this is just an overview of what you're trying to do in this exam. Okay, step 1, 90 to 120 seconds, finding main ideas. Okay, if you have a title, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. If you don't have a title, spend longer. Make sure you get the main idea. Okay, is this clear for anyone, or does anyone want to ask any questions at this point? Please feel free to ask questions. Michelle, you're okay, yeah? Anyone else?
Yeah,
Questions?
thank you.
Okay, so today we're going to focus on step 1. We're going to just do a bit of practice and talk about what you can do. Okay, so I'm going to, Manuru, do you have a question, please? Manuru, please. Oh, you put your hand up, Manuru. Okay, no worries. Okay, so guys, let's talk about step 1 in more detail now. Okay, I want to go into more detail now about this step 1. And we're going to start by talking about main idea. What does main idea mean, guys? Main idea is, what is that?
The topic the text is about.
Yeah, I like that word. Yeah, it's a topic, isn't it? It is what the text is
Just
about. Yeah, or you could say gist. Exactly, gist. The main idea, what the text is about. Okay.
Yeah.
And Andrea, could you say hello?
Yes.
1 second. What is this text about?
Treatment, antibiotic treatment.
How did you get the main idea so quickly?
Heading.
Okay, so how much time should we spend on this, guys? We already said we're going to spend how much time?
Maybe 10 seconds. If
So
you
one
want.
1 second.
Well, maybe 1 second, but I mean, what else do we need to do?
No need to.
Underline keywords, right? So to underline keywords as well as get main idea, let's say, Andrea, for you, all together, how much time? 10?
Maybe 10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yeah.
5 to 10 seconds. Okay, what if we don't have the heading? Okay, this is what I want to talk about now. If that's not there,
and depends on the topics. Sometimes the topic's very long and complicated.
It's a big problem, basically, guys. It's a big problem for you in the exam because it's not so easy to get the main idea, and you need that main idea. If you don't get that correct, you're going to have a very bad step 2. Okay, if you cannot get the main ideas. So I know you guys know this, but I want to review, how can we get the main idea? How can we get the main idea when there is no heading, subheading? Okay, in this case, we all know that the main idea is
stress.
Stress. Just 1 second we have this here. Now, I want you guys to read these texts and try to find the main idea, okay? Don't say stress. That's not very good. Find the main idea of these 3 texts. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, okay? Don't say it on the microphone. Don't type in the chat. Just thinking, please, okay? 30 seconds. Can you find the main idea of this, this, and this? 30 seconds. All right, now I'm going to ask Rosa or Sapna or Sajid. Can you say hello?
Hi.
Hello.
All right, so let's take Sajid first. Sajid, what is the main idea of this smaller.
Diagnosis.
Okay, and how did you find it? There's no heading.
In first line, it is written when it comes to diagnosing the stress.
Is there anything
diagnosis.
about diagnosis?
Diagnosis must
Repeat
be
diagnosis.
into
Repeated words.
Repetition.
and diagnose, repeating words.
It's very easy to get the main idea. The reason is repeated words. Okay.
Yeah.
So repeated words can help us, guys, in the test when we don't have the heading. Here we have the heading. Okay. But in the second example, we have repeated words. Look, let me speak to Weiss or Rosa. Can you tell me the main idea here?
Yeah. Controlling the stress.
Yeah, controlling. Yeah, or I would just say controlling,
Management.
dealing, right? Or managing.
How we can deal.
That Wise is a perfectly good answer, actually. Controlling, right? Dealing with, managing, controlling, same thing. Okay. How did you get the main idea? How did you do it?
From first line, I wrote that is written comes to dealing with stress. Dealing is control.
And it's not repeated, is it? Dealing with is not repeated in the rest of the text, right? So you can only get it from the first line.
Unique word.
Unique words, that's more like keywords. We're just focusing on main idea here, right? So you read the first sentence, you think, okay, that's the main idea. What's the main idea of this? Sarah, Sapna, Rosa. What's the main idea?
Symptoms. Symptoms.
Symptoms. So Michelle, how did you get the main idea? Because there's no repeated words, there's no first line, there's no heading.
Yeah, because it's unable to concentrate it, remember things, bite your nails, they are signs and symptoms.
What do we call this? Yeah, you're right. What do we call this, guys?
Thematic words.
Theme, right? Thematic. What are thematic words, Andrea? Could you tell us?
The words in the same category.
Yeah, it's like the same type, let's say, same type. So can you give me some examples, Andrea, of thematic words?
In the text, it's unable to concentrate, to remember things, bite your nails.
So this is symptoms, isn't it, right? Symptoms.
Yeah, or signs.
Signs, let's say, yeah, and we got it from thematic words. Let me give you examples, guys. It's very, very easy. Look, everyone. Cat, dog, fish, elephant, wolf, lion, animal, right? Okay, chair, table, sofa,
We are furniture.
right? Thematic words is very simple, but it's a very, very powerful way, very, very powerful way to get the main idea. It's probably the best way, actually. Okay. Now, what I'm saying to you guys is are you going to use only one of these? How many should we use?
4.
Depending on the text.
We're going to use all 3. Guys, look. Use all 3 ways. Makes sense. If what? If
There's no hiding.
If there's no heading, right? So you can look for repeated words. You can look for the first line. You can look for thematic words. You can do them all together, okay? And using these techniques, I promise you, you can get the main idea, okay? Does this make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if I give you an example then, with no heading, you guys can look for repeated words, look for first line, read first line, and look for thematic words. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds, all right? And I'm going to choose a random person. You've got to find the main idea in 30 seconds. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
And
Yes.
everyone must do this. So a random person will answer. So it might be you. So make sure you have a good answer for me, okay? 30 seconds starting now. Be very careful here. Don't say, just wait 30 seconds, please. Okay, let's choose someone to tell us. See, I'll give you a little bit more time, but I would like Malike, when you're ready. Or Najibullah. Could you say hello, Malike? Najibullah, please. Oh, hello. Parsila, could you say hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Najibullah, fine. Okay, so Najibullah, so do you know what the main idea here is? It's tricky, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, look, guys, what are the three ways we can read the first line? Should I do it of both paragraphs or only one?
Both paragraph is better.
Both paragraphs.
Maybe two main idea, yeah.
Is it possible, Farag, is it possible to have two main ideas?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course, so we should read both. Look, 1 and 2. Okay. So supportive care in the ICU, sentence 1. Sentence 2, wound care. What's the main idea, guys?
Management.
Management.
Maybe management or
And
maybe
take care.
maybe
Care.
Management of
Care.
care.
I would say management is okay as well. Care, management is kind of the same thing as well. I think the main idea here is care. And we get the main idea from reading the first sentence of each paragraph.
Yeah.
That makes sense, guys. Do we also have thematic words? Maybe here. Do you think some thematic.
Yes.
And here, right? This is all like management, Farag is saying, yeah. Care, management. Maybe you can write both down. Okay. Are there any repeated words here?
Yes,
Yeah,
VAC.
Care is repeated, VAC is repeated, but not very only 2 times. Oh, I suppose
3 times.
Is that enough to give me the main idea?
No.
So not for. What about NF? Is that repeated?
Yeah.
Yes.
All text I think about in
It's
it.
a topic, belong to topic, NF.
So do you see what I'm saying, guys? Using these 3 techniques, right? That's the only possible way to get the main idea, actually. There are no other ways. You look for repeated words, you read the first line, and you look for thematic. And then you just do your best, right? Sometimes it will be difficult. You don't know. Do your best. It's a test, after all. Okay, no one said it will be easy. Okay, let's try another one. I've got another one here. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to give you guys 20 seconds. What is the main idea here? 20 seconds. And this time, I want you to write the answer in the chat box, please. What is the main idea? 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Type in the chat box. What do we think? I'm getting a lot of wounds. Do we think it's wound? What do you think it is?
No.
No, it's more like a.
Now, wound is repeated words. You're right. You're right. Wound is repeated words. But you know what, guys? I think you have to be very, very careful with this one. Repeated words, it's not the best. It's not the best. That is not the main idea. I mean, yes, it is, but it's too general. It's too general. Can anyone tell me, what is it saying specifically about wounds? Anyone?
Time of management of wound.
Management.
Management?
Time of intervention of wound.
Rania, can you say hello? Let's just take Rania. Rania, yes, go on.
Type of wound.
Type of wound? I don't think so. Anyone?
Type of wounds need surgical intervention.
Thank you, Sajid, right? Thematic words, right? These are all types of wounds. I think that the heading here, I removed the heading. The heading was something like prone to. What does that mean? Prone?
At risk.
Vulnerable person.
Risk.
Vulnerable.
That's or vulnerable. That's your main idea. Wound, yes, wound. Vulnerable wounds. Okay. So it's difficult, isn't it? But the way to get the main idea was, yes, repeated words, but also thematic words. Remember, thematic words is the best. Does this make sense, guys? Is this clear for everyone so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what if I show you a real test now? And I'm going to give you, if there's a heading, I'll give you only 5 seconds. If there's no heading, I'll give you 45 seconds. Do you think you guys can do it? I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it all together. Okay, but again, anyone can answer. So please be ready. If I say your name, you must answer the question. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here's the first one. Andrea, please. Seeing as you're so fast. Katruta.
Yes.
What's my main idea, please?
Guidelines for discharge, for admission, and follow-up.
So what would you write down, guys? In the exam, you should write this down on the paper. Guidelines.
And follow up.
Discharge. Like this.
Admission. Yeah, and follow-up.
Admission and follow
I
up.
think that's discharge and admit. Follow
Okay.
up.
So, guys, is it difficult to get the main idea when you have the headings? No. 1 second.
No.
1 second, right? You don't need to write down every single word. You just need to look for the most important words. Okay, so very good, Andrea. Okay, what about this one? Do we have a heading here, guys?
No.
Okay, so let's spend a bit more time figuring out what is the main idea here. Okay, 30 seconds.
Type of pneumothorax.
Pneumothorax.
Anna, give everyone a chance.
Pneumothorax.
30 seconds, please. 30 seconds. Don't say anything for 30 seconds. Just think about it. It can be more than one main idea. You can think about the function as well, if you want. Think about the purpose of the text. Okay, Weiss, can you say hello? Or Sarah?
Hello.
What's the main idea, please, sir?
The main idea is types of pneumothorax. We have 2 types of main idea. We can definition of pneumothorax and types with descriptions.
Ooh, why do you? So these are actually what I would call functions. Yeah, but for today, let's keep it simple. So you think this is like talking about different types?
We can say classification of
Yeah, I don't mind this. Okay, I actually call this something different. Okay, I call this the function of the text. But for today, let's just write it down. It's very good. I agree. I agree 100%. Types of pneumothorax. Should I write down pneumothorax here, guys? What do you think?
No.
Why not? Why not? Why is that?
Because all the text is about pneumothorax.
Yeah, right. So, guys, when you're getting the main idea, you can't. It's not useful to get the main idea that is the same, right? This is about pneumothorax. This is about pneumothorax. This is about pneumothorax. Why is that so bad, Farak, Mashal? Why is it so bad to get the main idea that is like all the texts?
That's a waste of time.
It is a waste of time. Why is it a waste of time, guys?
To write all of these.
What are we trying to do when we find the main idea? Well, what's the aim? What's the We're trying to separate the texts, guys.
Yeah, separate the text.
What does separate mean?
Differentiate.
Differentiate.
Right?
Differentiate the text.
We need to know what is different about them. Things that are the same are not useful because this analysis is trying to help me find the answer. Okay, so pneumothorax, very bad. Types, yeah, okay. Anything else? Well, let's just say types. I think that's good. Okay, what about this one? Yeah. Do we have headings? We do.
Yeah,
so
diagnosis and symptoms.
Yeah, oh, Michelle then. Go, Michelle. What's the main idea, please?
Symptoms and diagnosis.
So we write down symptoms, we write down
symptoms.
What else, guys?
Clinical signs.
Maybe signs. Signs, symptoms, diagnosis. Okay. So it's very easy to get the main idea when we have the headings. Very quick. When we don't have the headings, we can spend a bit more time, although this one is fairly easy, right? How did we get the function? I suppose we looked at thematic, right? You can get the function from theme as well, I suppose. Okay, last one. What's the main idea, guys?
Management.
All right, so now, do we already have 3 of these have headings? Is that normal? Is that normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you get 2 with no headings, and sometimes you get 3. It depends. You don't know how many. Okay?
And sometimes
for pie chart,
yeah.
For pie chart, those they have for this kind of situation they have, because it's difficult to go through all of them and find what it means. So they just put, like we have bar chart, or they shows in a brackets or there's something that like this. It has,
Okay, so this is the main idea. Now I want to make a very important point before we finish this class. Okay, look at this. How many main ideas does a text have?
What's for?
Any text. How many main ideas can a text have, guys?
Maybe 1, 2, or maybe more than 3.
Is it possible 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it possible 4?
Yeah.
Of course, of course. So do we have time to get all the main ideas? Do we have time for that?
No.
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 So what is a practical solution? Andrea, what is a good solution if I only have a small amount of time?
Okay, you get 2 main ideas, and then you underline some keywords.
Yeah, so guys, let's imagine this is my text. Okay, this is main idea 1, main idea 2, then we have main idea 3, and then we have main idea 4. What are the most important main ideas here?
For the green one.
Just get these guys, just get 2 main ideas, right? You can write them down. Let's say, for example, Andrew, give me an example. It might be management, and then it might be whatever, right? So I've got my 2 main ideas. What do I do with the rest of the text? What do I do with this?
Underline some keywords.
Exactly. Guys, parts of the text that you do not have time to find the main idea, you can focus your keywords here. What does that mean? Adnan, Alexia, what does focus mean?
You have to see for the repeated words in the text.
Repeated words is to give me the main idea, but keywords is a little bit different, actually. We'll talk about the keywords now. I'm just underlining words. Okay. Guys, you don't need to find the main idea in the whole text. Just get the 2 most important ones, the 2 main ones. Okay. So just get 2 or 3 main ideas. Everything else should be keywords. So what is keywords? We did not talk about keywords.
It's like numbers, capital letters.
We're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it now. We'll talk about it now, okay? But I just want to remind you guys, in your exam, okay, how much time are you spending analyzing the texts? How much time on step 1?
Approximately 2 minutes.
Maximum 2 minutes, right?
2 minutes.
Okay. Now, when you get the main idea, what should you do when you find the main idea? You can write it down. Do you guys write it down?
Yeah, I am.
And just write it down. Management. Just write it on the side. It's like a menu. Okay. So in the exam, you've got 2 minutes. You're going to write down the main ideas on the side, or you can put the main ideas here if you want. Then you're going to underline. What does underline mean? What does it mean to underline something?
To specify something.
To
highlight.
Draw, highlight, yeah. Okay. So main idea is here, but keywords, we're going to underline them in the text. Does that make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what words should I underline? What am I looking for with keywords?
It's attract us. For example, maybe like I got complication, and the second time you didn't underline, but I underlined that because it attract me. Maybe the question, it is a question.
Okay. let's say it attracts you, so it stands out. Okay, stands out. What does anything, guys? Anything that attracts you, you think you think it's important. Fine. What else makes a good keyword, guys?
Like words in brackets.
What does brackets mean? So brackets, anything like this, right? If you see like sickness here in brackets, we should underline that. Yeah, agreed. What else, guys? So brackets, numbers, right? Any numbers? What else? Anything else? Someone is saying jargon. What do we mean by jargon, guys? What does that mean?
Medical
jargon.
Technical terminology.
All words. Okay. Nordhan, what else should we be underlining? What else?
Numbers, names.
Names, yeah, names like of a person.
Numbers.
Maybe a famous person, right? Names. What else, guys?
Synonyms.
Capital letters.
Anything with capital letters.
Abbreviation.
Okay. What do we call that thing like, Mary, what do we call that thing with like WHO, GMC?
Abbreviation.
Abbreviations.
No.
Acronym. Like WHO, right? All capitals, when it is all capitals. Okay. So guys, keywords, you're looking for numbers. You're looking for jargon, medical words. You're looking for names. You're looking for brackets. And you're looking for anything that you think is important. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to show you an example of this, and then we'll finish the class. Tomorrow, we will do a mock test. And you can see I will apply this, all of this. I know I'm talking a lot. You will see in action what we actually do. Okay. But let's do an example now. All right. So let's go back to these. I'll ask Mary or Renaya, do you see any keywords here? Any numbers? Where are the numbers?
For 6 hours, 3
4 to
hours,
7 days.
4 to 7 days.
3 days.
So we underline these. Does this make sense? In your exam, underline that. Write down the main idea here. Underline the numbers. Any medical terminology, any jargon? Anyone? Everyone? Jargon? Heimlich valve. Yeah, there you go. Anything else? Any names? Anything in brackets? What about brackets? Do we see brackets?
Yeah.
Pneumothorax.
You could underline re-X-ray or catheter, right? Do you see what we're doing, guys? Numbers, names, brackets, all of these things we should underline, okay? What about this one? What keywords do we have? Everyone, keywords. Any numbers? This is tricky. What is a good keyword here? Brackets. Right, so we've got some brackets. What else can we underline? You guys, you can draw on the screen. It's at the top or the bottom. So brackets. Okay, what else? What else?
Atmospheric pressure.
Technical, maybe.
Technical, yeah.
Anything else? Medical words. Pleural cavity, right? So you're underlining keywords. What about this one? We'll do one more. What keywords do we have? Vandana, can you tell us keywords here? Or Andrea?
Yes, 24 hours.
24 hours. Anything in brackets, guys? Brackets?
Yeah,
yes, hyperresonance.
Right? So we're focusing on all of these things and we're underlining these words. Remember, this is not the main idea. What are we doing when we underline keywords? What are we doing? Mary, Andrea, why do we do this? It's not the main idea.
It will help us to understand what this text about and answer our question.
It helps us to answer the question. How does it help us to answer?
Usually these words, like outstanding, they are involved in the questions.
Sometimes they're in the questions, like you have to with keywords. Good. There's another reason as well. Hajarat, why do we do this?
It's a safe time.
I have a question, please.
Honestly, Mary, guys, you guys are doctors. You can predict what they will ask, honestly. If you see a number, 24 hours, there's a very good chance that they're going to ask a question like, how long, blah, 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 right? If you see, you see what I'm saying? Nurses and doctors, you can almost predict what they will ask. They're not going to ask a question about this, are they? Look, they're not going to ask a question about that. Why not?
I have a question, please, Alan.
Hajara, go on, please.
Yeah, where do we underline the keywords? Is it after analyzing the questions?
It's as part of the same thing, okay? So just to come back to this again, it's very important. You've got 2 minutes, okay? Now you're going to find the main ideas and underline at the same time. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So for example, right? For example, here, we found the main idea, treatment. We find that, and then we underline 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. It's all in the same, at the same time. Anyone else, any other questions? No, that, yes, sir. No? Okay, I'm going to finish here. Now, tomorrow we're going to do a mock test, and you will see us applying this technique to a real test. Okay, we're going to start the class by finding the main ideas, and then we're going to look at step 2, and we're going to find the answers. But the key thing I just want to emphasize today is main idea is very important. Spend more time on the ones that don't have a subtitle. How do we get the main idea, guys, if we don't have a subtitle? One more time.
First line,
Line.
repeated words,
First line, repeated words.
Thematic word. Now, Najibullah, what is a thematic word? What is that?
Repeated word like this.
It's not repeated. Can anyone tell me what is a thematic?
Like there's the same type of
class or type, exactly.
Categories.
Right? So guys,
they have the same pattern.
So for example, TOEFL, IELTS, OET, CBT. Exams. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye, right? Tomorrow we will demonstrate this with a full set of questions, 20 questions. So come back tomorrow if you want to practice. Hope it was useful today. I'm going to say goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much.